Alright, it is time for the true finale. Well, at least one of 4 parts of the true finale of how to make a 3D printed car. So, we've got our body shell, and we even got a working solidification, which we're going to delete. We don't need that now. However, what are we even printing it for? Like, we don't have any size, it's just kind of there. So, that is what we're about to do. So right now in this video, we are going to use the template that is supplied by the link on the Cults 3D. Follow the link that is in the description of the video and come here. You can download this, and as well while you're here, you could also give me a like or follow me for more designs. This is where I come and upload my objects that I make. Lots and lots of cars, some for free, some for paid. But any support is very liked. Alright, so let's make ourselves this into an Xmod and MiniZ. Well, it's obviously got to be one or the other. However, the usage is going to be the same. So, we'll save. More importantly, save as. Because, and we're definitely going to be needing this for multiple usages. So, we're going to save it as. So right now we're going to be doing an Xmod. Alright, so when it comes to muscle cars with the Xmods, they're normally a 94mm chassis, or a medium. So we're going to go to Append, find where you downloaded the file that was linked, Xmod Clip Template 3.0, come to Object, and here's the list. So, we need Xmod stuff. First off, we need our Xmod rear tire. Also, it is the MiniZ rear 98mm tire. Append. We want Xmod front 94mm. Alright. So now that we got our tire location, let's mount it all up. Bring out our N key. And definitely make sure that we're on the move command. So, we want to make sure that the wheels clear the wheel wells clear these wheels. So the bodies are normally about 70mm wide. And we now need to make the wheels meet. And then the height normally correlates with the width. Now, this is a little scrunched. The wheels barely fit in the wheel wells. And there's no way that the front ones are going to turn with how tiny that is. So, we need to find some areas to shrimp this down. The first shrimping that we can do is the wheel wells. This is a normal common practice in the RC car industry, from what I've been able to see. And this is so then they can give the front and the rear more room in order to fit headlights. So, what we're just going to do, we're just going to stretch it back a little, grab the next section, and then stretch this back. We'll also stretch this back. Alright, so we got more room there. And we'll do the same here. Alright, so we stretched that a little. And now we've gained probably 2 clicks. Alright, that's still not very good. If anything, we actually need to go a little wider. Because that rear wheel well is rather low. And also, let's solidify. Now, this is where you'll need to know precisely what your printer can do. Now, in my case with resin, I can go relatively thin. And how the thickness works is, it takes this number, so if we put 1, it multiplies that by the scale. So in widthness, so let's say this panel right here, it would currently be 1.249mm thick. Now, if I were to Control A, or actually make you be able to read what the heck I'm doing, Control A, I could reset the scale. However, I am not finished with this. We still got some things to do. So, we're going to leave it as is. Alright. So what's another shrimping technique we can do? Because we need this, we'd like these numbers to be as close to each other as possible, so then the car's within scale. However, RC cars are never in perfect scale. They're often very wide compared to their length, at least in terms of true scale. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the muscle car shrinking technique that is used by at least the Xmods. So what it does is it comes in and then starts pulling the center in. Pretty much making this coupe long door into something, whoa, into a sedan length. And look at the length that we got. So now let's extend it. There we go. That's certainly a lot more digestible. If anything, that would bring that in. Oop, wait, hold on. There we go. There we go. The wheels got some room. Especially the front one here, because it needs to be able to turn, because colliding into this fender bit might be a little challenging. So what we're going to do is we'll select this, double G it forward a little, section by section. God, trying to move that by G is difficult when it's such short throw. There we go. We should be able to escape wow, we are not going to escape collision. We need to lift this up a little. We need, obviously, first importance of RC cars, make sure that the wheels have clearance. You don't want them to be colliding with the wheel wells, because if they rub, well, the car is pretty useless, and then you'll have to Dremel out the wheel wells. Which, you kind of need to do this anyway, even in any form of 3D printing. Alright, now how about our wheel wells? I'd say that we're probably touching. Alright, so what if we made it 72 wide? Alright, that would work. However, what if we didn't want to make it super wide? What if we just wanted it... Let's keep with the 71. So what we're going to do, remember how we set the wheel wells up like this? Well, we're going to use that. So what we'll do, we'll double G, the wheels back, wheel wells back. So now we just opened up the wheel well a little more. Alright, now how about we give this car a little bit of rake to try and help the wheels clear. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down. We want our rear clip template. Rear clip slot. Bring that in. Now you could also do this with the MiniZ one as well. Make sure it's selected. We're also going to select the rear wheel, so Shift, right click, and we're going to drag this down. There we go. So now the car is going to have quite a lot of rear rake. And then, from the clip that we brought in, we need it to touch successfully. And what I mean by that is we don't want it peeking out. We want it to be hidden. And then obviously make sure that it is clipping through the inside. There is no actual necessary need to actually have it attached. Because when we export it, it will give us the option to have everything in the scene exported as an STL, and that is exactly what we want. Except we'll be deleting these wheels. Alright, next let's bring in a front clip. For this, I want the 65 Mustang slot. Alright, then from there, leave it as is, tab it open, and then just run the clip into the car like we did the rear clip. Now even with the rear clip, you can individually select the data points and drag it in. And imagine we're going to have some kind of issue there with the license plate over the fog lights. Alright, very nice. Alright, so we got the main important parts in. We got our front clip, we got our rear clip. Now we could call this done, however, there are some things that I would like to add. Because resin is resin and also very weak, it needs some structural supports. So, and I'm not just talking about for printing, I'm talking about physical supports to help it with impact. As well as flexing, because, well, when resin just sits, and if it's an open shell, it likes to spread itself apart. So, to try and keep it from spreading itself apart, what we're going to do is add some side bracing. Now, luckily, this one, we don't have to mess around with this around the window. Alright, so that's almost hidden. Dang it. Reselect that, reselect that. Alright. Now, I would advise not moving the inward, at least the very inward bottom face, because that'll be pretty much colliding with the chassis. So this will be kind of tight. This will be a tighter chassis and a tighter body. Now, in terms of everything up top, we can move that in. We don't want to move it out, we want to move it in. We can move it in so it fits, well, just conforms to the body a little nicer, but we do not want to move it towards the inside, because then we risk failure to attach. Alright, we're just going to select everything, and then we'll bring it back a bit, so then we could have it attach here. Ooh, even tighter fit back here. But best stick to my teachings. We're not moving it. Now, obviously, this is not an STL, so we can add more data points. As well as also extending the whole thing. And also, let's move it forward a hair, because I'd like it to go along with this, the B pillar. Alright, up. Yeah, it'll show through for now, but let's bring it in. Double G, double G. Let's come in here, bring this over, so then it's not peeping through. We're good. Place that in there, drag it over. Same up here, because we got a cavity. Then we'll just drag all this over. Alright, so now I got good side structural support and it's not busting out. Let's go to the rear. And that one's going to be super easy, because this one's already preset. So all we got to do is take our side one that's pre-selected. I like to raise it up a little, because when it comes to printing in resin, any large flat face tends to have printing issues. So yes, that also insinuates the hood. And then this, we're going to drag it out. We don't want to put it all the way down below. There we go, that should clear the mounting spot. We can't really have this for the MiniZs because of their suspension setup, as well as there's nothing in the middle to attach to. And then we'll use the front. Select it, bring it in. It pretty much attaches to the top clip. I know that. Yeah, the top of the front clip, my goodness. And then we want, now at least in this car's case it's okay, however some kind of lower profile cars, you want this to really stretch beyond the front wheel well. Just because when it comes to printing, this strip right here, even normal RC cars, this is the weakest part of the car. Just because it's not very tall, there's not really much structure going around, it's just hood and a little bit of fender. So this amount that we're adding right here is good for the structure. Now, yeah, we're going to make it look kind of blocky at the moment. Alright, we want to get this out of the way. Because the last thing we want to do is forget about this. Drag it down to the bottom of the bumper as much as possible. And then we can add ourselves a loop cut, drag it forward. Because we want the front of the chassis to still be able to mount. So we need to make sure that's out of the way as much as possible, but we still have our good structure up top here on the roof. Alright, so we're good on the supports. Let's add some other things. The exhaust tips that I was talking about earlier. In this file, what we wish to do is we're going to come in and add a modifier to mirror. I could have done that normally, however, some cars have single exhaust tips, so we gotta work with that. Tab, split apart. The exhausts are kind of small, yet flat. So we'll flatten a little, shrink, and they're just off to the side of the reverse lights. Now, as we can see, we can shrink them up a little and we'll sink it into the body. And just shrink the entire thing too. You want to make sure you have good contact so we don't just bust these off. Now, something else we could also do is kind of extend these inward, so then it doesn't just look like little tabs on the bottom. However, obviously, we still got to keep room for chassis, even though the chassis probably ends right here, and this is going to be completely open. So, let's append something else. Side mirrors. Now, yes, these are kind of just generic side mirrors that I have here, because we did not model them at all in our tutorial. However, making side mirrors kind of sucks, so make it once or not. Now, I do know that this car kind of has small circular ones. However, we're just kind of make these kind of square, so then they're just fine. I would like to, we'll make it a little taller, and then we'll sink the entire thing in. I don't like to just have the singular stalk holding these on, because these are really easy to snap off. So, we're good with that. Let's see, anything else to append? License plate. This is kind of just my own little thing. If you don't want to add it, that makes sense, but it's kind of just a little stamp that says that this is mine. However, we need to cement it in there, make sure it's actually attached. Yep. Alright. Let's see, anything else? Exhaust tip, check. We don't need any Hot Wheels stuff. I'm not going to put it on this car, however, I'll at least show you what I'm doing with this. So the LED sockets, these are for 3mm. So what we'll do is we'll come and attach these. I'll put these on the center ones. And for me, I print in clear resin, so having this all as one piece, and then the headlights there just with some liquid tape to fill that in so then you don't see anything. So yay for that. And then pretty much the same story goes with the rears. Slop them on. And kind of just have one LED go for both strips there. As such. Alright, that should be absolutely it. I don't think I got anything else. Nope, that's it for that. So if you're making this for the Xmod like I am, you're good to end here. What happened? Did this move? Oh, I know he moved it, but what happened? Oh. Oh, we hit. Oh, we selected all. Alright, we'll just drag it back. That was my fault on that part. Alright, so, how about for the MiniZ? So, let's set up for the MiniZ then. Pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to delete these wheels that we got. Delete the front clip. We'll leave everything else for the moment. Append. Hold on. Because I want this saved for the Xmod, click Save. Now we can demolish it. So I don't know if we'll have enough undos to fix things. So we want to come to our MiniZ settings. We want MiniZ front wheels, which are down here. Append MiniZ rear 94s. Append MiniZ side clips. Append MiniZ front short clip. Alright, so now we gotta make this all work. So, we're going to select everything but the wheels and the side clips. So, alright, I do believe that's everything, including all this, which I didn't want. So we'll shift click that. Now, Control A, reset location. I have a feeling this was a bad idea. Guess not. Alright, we are going to move this 4mm frontward, so -4. Alright, that moved all that successfully. Now we just need to work this in. Now, we do have a slight problem, which where the front clip is too low. However, you could always create your own custom clip. However, in order to go along with what I have here, which I just realized I did not apply any of the actual clip pieces, so I'll have to do some extra linking. So, what we're going to do is we're going to come down to our front bumper, select what's going to cover it, and extrude it downward. So I'll tab out. And also make it a little taller. Sometimes it's a little too low. Nice. Alright, side clips. These need adjusted too. So you just want to make sure that they properly collide with the body. Now, while this one is an STL, we cannot add anything. However, we can still bend it to our will. Now, it is not mirrored, which, honestly, I probably ought to have just made it mirrored. Because it is annoying when you gotta do it twice. Alright, so those are attached. There is one thing I do like to do with these, because sometimes the resin, it's hard to bend these outward. So we'll select all that, and then this number right here, turn that to 22.5. That'll sink that in a little so then the clip teeth don't stick in too far. Negative 22.5. Now, if it's plastic that you're dealing with, the FDM, you could probably leave them as is, because that'll bend a lot easier. But you still got to watch out. You want to reduce as much bending as possible. And then obviously for the MiniZs, you don't need the Xmod parts. Alright, oh, whoa, 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 you are not done yet, boy. And then obviously, drag this down. Alright, so now we just made this fit, both an Xmod and a MiniZ. Now let's go back to our here. Obviously some things are changed, so what we wish to do, Shift, right click, Control L, link materials. I want it to go the other way. Click the mirror first, then Shift right click, and then Control L. So then our mirror, well, we want that to be chrome. All right. And yeah, this kind of, well, hold on. One last thing before I send you off. Plastic. We'll add a crease. There we go. Alrighty. If you guys liked the video, please hit like and subscribe if you are new for more content like this. Now I am going to undo everything we just did for the MiniZ and put it back on the Xmod. There are still a few other things that I do need to show. However, I can do that on another car so I can get this one going. Alrighty, see you in the next one. Goodbye.